This video covers the creation and uploading of documents into a Bluebeam Studio session. So this starts at the point after which you've created a Bluebeam Studio project. The design team has uploaded files into that project. You've checked out and opened each one of those files. You've checked things like thumbnails, hyperlinks, bookmarks, flattened, labels, layers. You've checked those things, and now you've added the status menu and you're ready to upload into the session. So this covers creating the new session. That's what we'll start with. It's important to note that each one of these, before it goes into the session, has the status menu added to it. That's the back check menu. Every document going into the session needs to be, you need to be sure that that status menu has been added. So once you've verified that you've done all of that, what you're going to do is create the new Bluebeam Studio session. So you'll just go to one of the drawings or documents that you'd like to place into the session. You right-click that document and you click Add to New Session right here. When you click that, you're going to give the session a name. Now the correct name for this is the school name, colon number, and then a hyphen, and then a space, and then the project name if there is a specific project associated with this. So I click OK, and that session now will be created over here. You'll see this is going to change in just a second. Right now we're looking at the Bluebeam Studio projects, and now you see it switched to the Bluebeam Studio session. So you see now that the session has been created. Within the documents, in a minute, that drawing that we just right-clicked to upload into the session will start downloading into that Bluebeam Studio session. I can, now that I've created the session, I can right-click on other documents and I can add them to the existing session, because remember, we just created that session. So all I have to do is right-click on any other documents or any future documents, right-click on them and add them to the existing session. When I do that, you'll see once this finishes, it will populate the next document for the session. So you've created your session. You see here's the name of that session right here. I know I'm in a session because I see this icon, which means session. And I know that once the drawings have finished uploading, what you'll want to do now is you'll want to come in and you'll want to start to set the permissions. So the permissions, the way you get to the permissions is to click on the down arrow associated with this name of this session. Click on that down arrow and you should see the settings button. As the creator of this, I'm the person who gets to see this session, the settings. Once I see those settings pop up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the Permissions tab. And again, I'm following along on a document right here, which is Exhibit A3. And in Exhibit A3, it shows you exactly what these should look like. So you can look at A3 and you can actually see how it's set up to look at the permissions specifically for this particular permission setting. So I'm using this as a reference, Exhibit A3 as a reference. So coming back here, coming into my settings again, in my permissions, I just want to verify the first 4 are set to allow, the second 2 are set to deny. I click OK, and those permissions have been set. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to invite the reviewers. Now, it's important to note that there are reviewer groups that have been set up on the LEUSD P drive, and within there are particular reviewer groups that you can add into your Outlook address book. And once you've added those groups into your Outlook address book from the P drive, you can come here and go to address book to invite particular groups of reviewers. But if you just wanted to invite a smaller number of people or people individually, again, you're clicking on this envelope button right here, you're clicking the plus sign, and you're adding in the name of people that you want to add as reviewers for this. When you do that, you add their email address in, you click OK, you'll get a notification that Bluebeam will send them an invitation. So note that this invitation doesn't come from your personal email address, it comes from Bluebeam. So if the end user has spam filters, it may be blocking that. Just something to note. But once you've added those users, if you want to, what you can also do back here in this invitation is you can copy this invitation. And if you are to copy this invitation and then go to create a new email, when you create that new email, you can paste the invitation in and then send it to them. So remember, they have to be invited first already, which sends them an invitation, but after they've been invited, they can also receive this link, and from that link they can get into Bluebeam Studio, into the session.